Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks. I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This one has me feeling patriotic and nerdy. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, God help me why, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And that's basically the case today, albeit this wasn't exactly a find per se, because I've been to this particular location on numerous occasions. I have reviewed several items from them at this point, and it's been a little bit since I've been there, so finally today I was like, let's get in, let's make this happen. So, what is it? What am I reviewing for you? Why am I feeling patriotic and nerdy? Well, folks, that's because I popped on out to, boom, AddiZone in Addison, Illinois. Ooh, see, AddiZone. It's clever. I like that. And I got one of their signature drinks, which so happens to be the Captain America. This is one of their loaded teas. It is apparently sour watermelon. And yeah, it's a little bit hard to see, but like it's got a little bit of a separation. You know, you got the blue, you got the red. It was better before I poked the straw in it. I should have waited to poke the straw. Didn't wait. But anyway, let's get a thing for the thing here while we're doing this. We'll go ha 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 ha. And yeah, AddiZone is a cool little like sort of mostly a drink place, but they have like acai bowls and like protein waffles and stuff like that. You know, a little bit of a sort of like health stop place. And it's cool because like it works nicely for me because I work weird hours. So, you know, a lot of times if I'm leaving early in the morning or something like that, they're a great place to stop in. And sure. Well, with this being a local establishment, by the way, this review is going to end up in my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just Illinois establishments. Let's give it a go. Oh. Damn. That's got some proper spank to it. Okay. Ooh. I like that. That's really cool. Takes you on a little bit of a flavor journey. Now I've mentioned in the past, when it comes to watermelon flavor, I am the type of person who typically I do not like amped up watermelon flavor. I like watermelon just as is. I think watermelon's a great flavor, and by itself, it's a fairly mellow thing. But of course, the tendency is to go over there and amp it up, and this has a little bit of that, but it's done in such a way where I can get along with it. I think in part because it really is a striking watermelon flavor. Like it really kind of hits you, and then almost immediately after that, you get this nice sort of sour hit to it. That sort of carries forward. And kind of at the end of it, you get this like almost slightly Jolly Rancher kind of sweetness. And I know one of their other signature drinks, they actually have one called Jolly Rancher. So I wonder if it's, you know, maybe a similar process or ingredients with some of these, but ooh. And the thing is, I'm not a huge fan of sour stuff, but I like tangy stuff. And one of my favorite drinks is lemonade. And I like a lemonade that's got a tanginess. I don't want it to just be sweet. This reminds me of that. It's, you know, because I mean, I know like it's a loaded tea. There isn't much of a tea flavor, I will say that. It reminds me of like a Dunkin' Refresher, is sort of what I would say, except honestly, probably about 1,000 times better. And I've reviewed plenty of Dunkin' Refreshers, by the way. I have an entire Dunkin' playlist. If Dunkin' came out with this, I would be very impressed. This is really nice. I like this. It's a very refreshing drink. I like that it has multiple things going on. It has some contrasting flavors because you have, the tartness, you also have the watermelon flavor, and then you also have that sweetness at the end. It's like the perfect amount of tartness for me. Where it gives me a jolt, definitely gives me something to think about, but it doesn't go overboard. I'm not like puckering my lips or anything. That for me is typically a little bit too much. But that's not the case here. This is a really nice drink. And yeah, for some reason, the way that this comes together, I think it's because it has so much, again, it has such a nice refreshing flavor coming afterwards. I don't mind that somewhat amped up watermelon flavor, because it doesn't, usually when you get that really amped up watermelon flavor, it's amped up by just way too much sugar. And I feel like even though, yeah, there is a sweet component to this, because it has that nice, really sort of refreshing hit to it, I don't mind it, because it's there long enough to give me that nice little shot, to give me that little tanginess, and then after that, again, it's really nice and refreshing, and you just get a little sweetness hit at the end. Really cool. I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit more and see if that, changes it or does anything, or I don't know. But so far, I'm really happy I did this. I was not originally planning to hit up AddiZone today, but when I was getting off work, man, I was just like, it's the end of the week for me right now, and I was just so wiped out, man. I was just like, I want something nice and refreshing, and I kind of figured, this could work. Let's see if this makes a difference. A little bit. There is a little bit. Oddly, I feel like the tartness takes on a slightly more prominent after I mixed it. It was already, fairly oomphy, but it seems more pervasive. So whatever the two layers were, and I don't know, maybe it was nothing at all. Maybe it was all just psychosomatic. And now I have the Prodigy song stuck in my head. If you know, you know. Oh, it's really good. I will say, I do think I probably liked it more before I mixed it, because I feel like, again, it just had greater contrast, whereas now I feel like having mixed it all together, blended it, that tartness is just playing a little bit too big of a role for me, but still really nice drink. Just, again, I preferred the separated version before I mix it all up. But live and learn. All right, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get this again? Would I recommend it? Absolutely, and absolutely, albeit slight caveat, and that caveat being, I would not mix it up. I would go over there, and mind you, I'm not trying to trash it after it's mixed up. It's still really tasty. I just preferred it prior to that. But even regardless, basically, with the tanginess, with the watermelon vibe, it kind of comes off like a watermelon lemonade. And that works for me, man. Watermelon's good, lemonade's good. It's a good flavor pairing. And, like I said, I like that it's got a lot of things going on. And again, as somebody who, and I'm not even trying to trash the Dunkin' stuff, because I like Dunkin' just fine. But as somebody who's tried probably every refresher flavor that's come out, this is wholly better than any of those. It's just significantly more impressive in terms of the flavors and the scope of the flavors. Now, if I'm recommending it, absolutely. I personally, AddiZone is one of those places. I mean, I always like to go over there and rep local spots anyway. That's part of the reason why I do the show, honestly. And, for me, if I can go over there and I can kind of, shine a light on sort of little hidden gem areas and stuff, and I personally feel like that is what AddiZone is. I think that if you were in that area and you were of that mindset of, you want, because like I said, they have protein drinks, acai bowls, stuff like that. You want something a little bit healthier to help kind of recharge you. And mind you, I say healthier in the aspect of I'm not a doctor or anything. Clearly, I'm just this guy. But, if you don't just want a donut and coffee, again, you want something that's going to give you a little something extra. I think AddiZone is a great spot, and I personally think this is a really good drink from them. This is definitely, like I said, I would definitely get it again, and I think it's something that people can very easily get behind. There's not much of a barrier to entry here, unless, like I said, you're just maybe not into tart stuff. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly Captain America-tastic rest of your life. Because, I mean, come on. Captain America's pretty badass. Freaking punched Hitler in a comic. I mean, who wasn't back in those days, but I'm just saying. How we all wish we could punch Hitler. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there, whenever possible, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, who's your favorite Marvel superhero? Let's stick to Marvel specifically. Maybe you're like, I'm a DC, but that's fine. Not hating, I like DC too. Fucking, Image Comics, I like Image Comics, Dark Horse, I'm a nerd of many flavors. But who's your favorite Marvel superhero? Or hell, even just character, Because like I said, it doesn't have to be a superhero. Some people dig the villains. For me personally, probably Moon Knight. My top 3 are Moon Knight, Darkhawk, and Sleepwalker. I love those goofy-ass misfits. They're the best. But how about you?